Yowie wowie. We sure have
Yowie
some
wowie,
liars.
Howie.
We sure have some liars in this gang.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, and welcome to the Mandel Effect, a brand new production from us.
Here,
Who are we?
Domus.
Domus Productions. I'm Jack.
I'm Cam.
And I'm Merlin.
And we've got a real treat in store for you.
A real humdinger, a real knee slapper.
Yeah.
A real large number of watchings of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters.
101 viewings of the 1989 film Little Monsters, starring Howie Mandel and Fred Savage, in 48 hours.
One for each of the several Dalmatians we do not have.
We're up bright and early. We're all very awake. We're all very medicated. It's
You tell terrible lies to our audience.
it's incredible timing that we've managed to schedule this in for exactly when.
There is a national shortage of Vyvanse, and I'm currently a homunculus.
I really think that's going to add something to our reading of the text for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we're going to see, like, the real barren pit of Cam's soul, and I'm excited for that.
It's not much more than pit and barrenness, yeah.
Okay, so I think the question on everyone's minds here in the studio and at home
The most asked question we've got.
is why.
And my response overwhelmingly has been fun.
Yeah. Merlin enjoys doing this.
Yeah, I love our Christmas watchings.
You invented them.
Yeah, I pioneered this technique in, I want to say, 2019 with Elf. I watched it every day of December. And then the next year, I did Elfmas 2, the double down, where I watched one more Elf every day of December.
No, it was the 12 days of Elfmas
Yes.
for that one, yeah. So it
Yeah.
was just the 12. And we did calculate it. You can watch Elf 12 times in one day. It's just really hard.
You only get half an hour of sleep at the end of it.
Incredible. And then we really iterated once we all started living together and we wanted to watch. Do we want to watch Morbius that many times, or did we just decide to do it?
I think the idea of having done it was very, positive for us. We were all like, yeah, that would be good if we had achieved that already. We knew the process was not going to be spectacular.
Yeah, and I still stand by the fact that Morbius and the Metamorbphosis, which you can watch now on the Use for Discord channel.
Real
not
visual
Discord,
experience.
the YouTube channel, even. We were defeated not by the film Morbius starring Jared Leto, but instead the logistical concerns of having to watch that many episodes of Morbius in one day.
Yeah, it was the work schedules that we all had conflicting. It was the having to record things every time.
It was the having to edit a whole podcast episode every single day that really got to us.
Yeah.
So we've really made this one a little bit more accessible to ourselves, and we'll build back up from here, I think.
Yeah, this is a sprint rather than a marathon. And I think that...
wait.
To clarify something, I did call Morbius episodes earlier, and I think watching that many Morbius movies back to back has really turned it into a TV show for me.
Morbius, we've watched it since. I do want to clarify, we really, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we enjoy watching Morbius.
I really do like Morbius. Like, what a lovely movie.
Don't dead open inside.
Yeah, that's fair, but I don't know. It's not often you get to have such a very wired in, zoomed in level of detail on your stupid bits for a movie.
Yeah, and that's why I think we're doing this again, because it's really funny to be definitive world experts in a stupid movie no one cares about.
Yes. And
So-
it's also great to have the Jared Harris bread combination man as my Discord profile picture for a month now, and nobody can tell what it is.
It's
And
the
nor
world's
should they.
most absolutely esoteric bit.
Yeah.
You merged Jared Harris's face
With a loaf of bread.
with
yeah.
a loaf of bread and made that your thing. And then that was supposed to...
That was the first teaser we released, and it was completely
Yeah,
incomprehensible.
well, because, you know, Jared Harris and bread refers to the famous Jared Harris bread scene from Morbius, which all true Morb heads and listeners of our show would know.
Yeah.
There's a perfect overlap there.
Which then, of course, then implies that we're doing it again. And boy, we sure are. I guess the question, I think, is not just why, but also why Little Monsters 1989 specifically.
I rolled dice. I narrowed it down from every single movie to this one. Just completely at random. The fact that it's a Homestuck reference that none of us have seen at all.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
the last year, was it in the last year that I watched Homestuck?
Yeah, it's been the last year or so.
Yeah. So now I'm on board with all of the stupid goofs and gags, and one of them is all the stupid movie posters in the Homestuck bedrooms. And this sure is one of them.
Yeah. This is a movie that is...
I believe that this is the first movie that Homestuck makes reference to. There are many intertexts within Homestuck. Little Monsters is first mentioned by Dave Strider when he's trying to make fun of John. No, it's the other way around. It's first mentioned by John when Dave mentions having apple juice in his closet. Which brings us to, what do we know about Little Monsters before we go in?
I've been calling it Howie Mandel's Little Monsters ever since I learned about this movie, and it was only in the preparation for this podcast that I learned that the title of the film is Little Monsters, not Howie Mandel's Little Monsters.
He's just in it.
The two things I know is that Howie Mandel is some kind of Sid Meier auteur, and every movie that he's in has his name at the front of it. Which is why, confusingly, we've named this podcast after him and not the movie we're watching. Which I think is really excellent.
That's perfectly cromulent.
I'm really excited for Howie Mandel Civilization 7.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when the one where the trolls turn up.
Yeah, the one where it's like a whole 9-minute animation
Yeah.
instead of a feature-length movie.
Or video game in this case.
Apart from that, the only thing I know is the apple juice bit.
We know that at some point apple juice is replaced with piss for comedic effect.
And I think it would be really funny if that's not in the movie at all.
Yeah.
But we're going to find out. We are going to go boldly where no one's gone before and actually watch Howie Mandel's Little Monsters. And we'll report back with our findings.
We have found bold new horizons to explore in this age of stagnance and decadency. And those new horizons are Howie Mandel's Little Monsters, a film no one has ever seen.
Yeah, has anyone actually seen Little Monsters? I have yet to, actually find someone who has seen the movie.
We should answer our fan questions before we let Merlin do a tarot reading.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to go get.
All right, let's all go get the same questions all at the same time. We've all pulled out our phones for Discord. Merlin is putting its phone in front of mine now. All right. So, before we watch questions, we've got why, we've answered that. John's asked us, how little do you think the monsters will be?
So I think on, a metaphorical level, they are little in the sense of, mischief and japery, in a, oh, you little scamp kind of way. But I think, in a realer, deeper sense, my greatest dream would be having Fred Savage be absolutely minuscule.
Fred Savage isn't the monster; he's the child. Although I think there is some overlap in the right now. Narrative level.
Howie Mandel's the monster and Fred Savage is the boy.
What?
On the cover of this movie that you've seen in Homestuck, the little kid is Fred Savage, and the large monster looming over him, or peeking his head around the curtains, I believe is Howie Mandel.
Wait, that's Howie?
No, but my understanding is that the themes of the film, and this is actually pure speculation, but I'm going to call my shot now. The real monster was Fred Savage.
Okay.
He's the real little monster of the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I've got two thoughts on this. Firstly, I'm concerned that the monsters are going to be big. Mainly because all the children... We've cast children as the children, and we've cast grown men as the monsters, as far as we can tell so far. And I think Howie Mandel is a lot larger than Fred Savage on the cover of that film. So it may be Howie Mandel's big monsters.
Howie Mandel, for reference, for those of you at home...
which is a real good euphemism. Sorry,
He is 17 feet tall. You may not know that about beloved character actor Howie Mandel, author, director,
Producer,
sexiest
star, editor.
man alive, 1986 through 2001.
Yeah, Forbes 30 under 30.
Yeah, when he was 45. Really impressive. So yeah, the monsters we think will be quite big for this reason. Who is Howie Mandel? We've answered that, I think, at this point.
Okay, so I was introduced to Howie Mandel as the host of the bad Netflix game show Bullshit.
That's right!
Oh my God!
I completely
Where he's
forgotten.
that bald Mr. Clean-looking motherfucker who's
Respectably bald.
vaguely kind of running a game show whose rules seem to be very vague. And we watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes of that one night.
This must have been pre-Morbius, dude.
Yes, it was.
Okay, incredible.
Oh my God,
I'd
he
forgotten
was.
completely.
That's the only Howie Mandel content I have ever consumed.
We would not shut up about Little Monsters and Homestuck when we watched that, and it was the only good part of the show, really.
It was a deduction game where the 3 players tried to figure out if a 4th person was lying. And what if Howie Mandel, guided you through it? Like meditation, but the opposite.
Yeah, he's kind of sort of standing there japing, like, yowie wowie, we sure have
Yowie
some
wowie,
liars.
Howie.
We sure have some liars in this gang.
And let's go with Jackie's question. What do you mean 48 hours? Technically, it's less than that because we're starting at 8 a.m. today and we're finishing before 8 a.m. 2 days from now. We're finishing tomorrow night. So it's really, we're going for density here.
Yeah, no, actually, to be fair, that's a good question. People may be asking, how can you watch a 90-minute film 101 times in 48 hours? And as any true Morbheads, I hate the understanding that I've just come to that Morbheads is the generic name for viewers of this podcast,
Again,
regardless of what we're watching.
A spectacular visual experience, this podcast.
Come on, man.
Podcast
it's early
viewers.
in the morning. Leave me alone.
It is though a visual experience for us because we figured out that the only way to do it is to watch these shows or movies in parallel.
Not in series.
Yeah.
In parallel.
Yeah, so we're going to watch... we're going to ramp it up this morning, and we're going to get up to it. But essentially, we're then going to watch the films in batches of 10 until it's done. So I think we're starting with 1, then 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then a whole bunch of 10s until we get to 101. This will get us there by tomorrow night.
We're hoping to pick up enough in the first few that are coherent that we can have some fucking jokes to make. And if we don't, good luck listening to us, fuckers.
Yeah, if we don't, it'll be 90 minutes of silence on the other end.
I'm deeply concerned that this is going to be like, it's a 1980s film, and sometimes children's films from the 80s really toe the line between, being a fun children's romp for the whole family and being, some sort of harrowing psychological horror.
Yes.
I'm worried that this is going to be, too close to, Stephen King's It.
I have exactly the same concerns about this podcast. Alright, last viewer question we've received. How does this movie tie into beloved dubstep song Little Monsters and Nice Sprites by Skrillex? Yeah.
Now, we discussed this one yesterday when you posted this, John, friend of the podcast.
John, wonderful friend of the podcast. We do have to make fun of him for getting the song wrong.
I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, but
I choose to trust you, John.
Oh no, I'm happy to believe that. It doesn't matter. I've still got to fucking get him.
I'm choosing to distrust you, John. Yes.
If the monsters are anywhere near as scary as they are in that song, we'll be dead from fear.
We'll die.
Yeah.
It's time to make some sort of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters Bangarang AMV.
Bangarang is also a Homestuck bit. That's what Rufio says in the movie.
Rufio does says Bangarang in the movie.
That song is a reference to the same fucking thing as Homestuck is referencing. So it's all there we go. That's how it ties in. It's through Homestuck. They're 1 degree of separation from Homestuck away.
Yeah, it's like a Francis Bacon kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, I believe Merlin has consulted the oracles and has prognosticated a future for our next 48 hours.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to get Cam to hold the cards.
I'm holding the cards, baby.
You're holding the cards? All right, so.
That is the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands may be one of the most generic tarot cards you can get.
Yeah, sorry, I drew them authentically.
Straight middle of the pack
wands. So
wands.
that's our past card. The 6 of Wands can represent success, leadership, resolution, and fortune, which is all completely in the past. We've left it behind.
Oh no.
Yeah. We everything we achieved with the Metamorphosis, we're throwing away for this.
Problems have been dealt with, and a matter is on the point of being successfully resolved.
Yeah, we put Morbius in the bin, we beat it, we didn't have to do this again.
We put all of our work on hold to do this podcast.
Also true. We booked this time off.
We have the Ten of Pentacles. The tentacles, if you will.
Don't like that
I
it doesn't
won't.
have the number on there.
Security, inheritance, lasting success, satisfaction, sharing rewards, contentment.
That bodes well for the present.
Yeah, right? We're gonna have such a lovely time doing this pod. I genuinely am so excited for this because I get to have a fun time with my friends overwhelmingly, and then I get to share a piece of art that I made that no one else could do but us. And now, for our future reading.
Tower.
Cam,
No, it's not.
Ten of Wands?
it's the Ten of Swords. Endings, misfortune, loss, defeat.
Oh, fuck.
This will kill us.
This will kill us. We always knew that this would kill us. I love the lack of any and all face cards in this reading. That's always much more fun.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't design
No,
the
no.
pull, I did it organically.
Exactly. No, that's good. I guess the last thing before we go do this to ourselves. Yesterday, we remembered that we actually do need to get a copy of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters for this.
Jesus Christ.
What
this
a
was
fucking
an
ordeal.
So last year, I left this all till yesterday, the final day before we were actually due to start this project.
I think this is a group effort. We left this till yesterday.
It's true. No one didn't procrastinate this.
Because I do have to say, last year, our housemate Aveen, friend of the podcast, was foresighted enough to torrent Morbius for us midway through June.
And the thing with Morbius is that you can torrent it.
That's the
because
thing,
it's
right?
a meme.
It turns out, who'd have guessed that the 1989 film Little Monsters, starring Fred Mandel and Howie Savage,
Fred Howie and Mandel Savage.
Macho Man Mandel Savage,
Starring us.
who'd have thought that this film would be less available online than something like 2022's Morbius?
Because we live in a world where you can get hold of media very easily, and you can get hold of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters on Amazon, but they won't let you watch it 8 times at once.
And so, yeah, I was like, okay, I can just go torrent Little Monsters. This will be fine. And so yesterday, early in the afternoon, I go to my illegal torrent site of choice. Don't listen to this. Crushed it. And I went to go torrent Howie Mandel's Little Monsters. And it turns out there is a single man somewhere in the world who is single-handedly seeding Howie Mandel's Little Monsters.
And then he realized that it was draining his resources when we actually started torrenting it and stopped.
Halfway through, the seeder stopped and it became impossible to torrent. And so we realized that we had no copies of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters available. It was available to buy on Amazon for $10, but that would just give you the right to stream it.
For $10?
For $10. However, we can't watch that in series 10 times, and it would take us 101 full viewings of this movie.
There was the option of opening up, 10 different Amazon accounts and purchasing $100 worth of Howie Mandel, but I think that would have killed me psychologically.
Yeah, we can't give Jeff that kind of money.
No, we don't have it. We're
God, no.
podcasting here.
How do 3 grown podcasters in their 20s not have $100 between them?
The Mandelas and Savages.
The economy, it's in shambles. But yeah, so we figured, okay, it's time to, at the last minute, the day before the project, develop a new skill. And so I downloaded OBS, the recording software, and I taught myself very hastily in like half an hour how to screen capture and record video on my computer. This is kind of like what I did last year when I learned audio editing to edit this podcast. Let it not be said that I don't learn practical life skills from this project.
I've learned so much.
I've learned how to lean into a microphone because it's the only one we've got.
Yeah, where we are like, there's a foot between Jack and Merlin when we're all talking,
And
and
Cam's in
I'm
the middle.
between them.
Yeah, we're all huddled around one microphone for this one. It's really intimate.
It would be a little more concerning if we hadn't all had COVID at the same time very recently anyway. So
Yeah.
we don't have to worry.
We're all good. Anyway, so there I am. No Howie. Mega Mind Face. One day before we're due to watch it 101 times.
Why can't I have 101 days?
And so
no
I decide,
Howies?
okay, well now I've learned how to record video from my computer. I can go find some sort of dodgy streaming site, find it online free, 123 Movies, watch online free, and we'll screen capture all of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters, and I will create a file with which we can use this. Again, the scarcity and sheer underestimation of how little anyone has ever wanted to watch this film meant that there were only 2 streams that I could find online.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
One of them was heavily watermarked and edited by an Indian man by the name of Biscoot.
I think the Biscoot cut was our better choice too.
When will they release the Biscoot cut?
A good eighth of the screen was taken up by the Biscoot logo top right, and then there was a watermarked K in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, like the letter K in the middle of the screen. And the start of the film had like an Indian man like giving a thumbs up and like some sort of license.
It was an Indian movie license from like, it seemed like a historical document. It was actually quite interesting.
It might have been from the 80s.
Would love to deep dive on that.
Yeah, so hashtag release the Biscoot cut. Now, that obviously wasn't suitable for our needs. The other one, however, was a perfectly fine standard definition
Much
screening.
better visual quality.
Yeah. However, the entire frame just sort of mildly vibrated the entire time.
It was enough that I again immediately was like, Biscoot cut, please.
Yeah, I got Cam's opinion, and he much preferred the Biscoot watermark cut.
Because I was concerned that it would it could actually give me motion sickness over the course of two-day nightmare. But like it would probably be fine. I don't know. It's probably fine. We did decide after looking at both of them, all right, fuck it. Let's give Jeff Bezos a tenner.
Yeah,
right?
we'll give Jeff Bezos $10, and we will then use that to purchase Howie Mandel's Little Monsters and then steal it. We will download it physically, and now we can be the people uploading it.
This, we're allowed to copy it to watch it 101 times, and then that's not unreasonable.
But at least then we'll get a clean, crisp, high quality version of the film. Mm-hmm. The moment we start playing it to record it, it begins to vibrate ever so slightly.
Fucking livid.
But it's all we've got.
It is all we've got. It also took 3-4 attempts to.
So that's the thing, right? I have to essentially now set up the movie to play, and then set up my OBS recording system to record it. And that will take, 90 minutes because it needs to record the whole film. The first time after 90 minutes had elapsed, I went back and checked the recording, and I realized that my gaming headset was still plugged into the TV, or into the computer, sorry, and
we'd recorded audio from us.
Yeah, Cam and Jack audio was baked into the footage.
Which, it wasn't much. It was right at the start, but it was enough that we weren't willing to keep it.
And, I still had time. It was
also, we managed to do this without any of us watching Howie Mandel's Little Monsters.
Yeah, I would put it on to record, and then I came downstairs and hid from it.
We've seen Jack's seen the intro, not the credits, but
the studio, intros coming up at the start of the film, yeah. So I set it up to go again. And that was great. It was working that time. But then when I came up 90 minutes later, I had an error message, and it said that my hard drive was full. And so it had failed recording. So it's now 9 p.m.
I have to emphasize, I was at work for all of this. I did not bear witness to any of this. I'm hearing this for the first time. What the fuck? What the fuck?
So that one didn't work either. And so I had to delete a bunch of space from my hard drive because, like a fool, I started recording a multiple gigabyte file before.
And we didn't know how big it would be. So I'm sure you had to delete quite a bit. We do now have it.
Yeah, so then the third time's the charm. It was 10:30 p.m. It was really cutting it fine, but I managed to do it. I managed to get a copy of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters.
A 12 gigabyte copy of Howie Mandel's Little Monsters.
I did. Okay, I learnt OBS really quickly, and so I didn't learn any of the nuances. I just needed to get it, and so I recorded it in far higher fidelity than I needed to.
Every JPEG artifact that the Amazon release had on Jack's other monitor is going to be transferred in very high quality across to our 4K TV.
For reference, the original torrent file that we were trying to download was 700 meg.
And it was expected to take
3 or 4 hours.
3 or 4 hours if we had that one guy continue to seed it. Thanks for nothing, one guy.
Yeah, motherfucker, right? Now, there is one final update to this. And it's that I was setting up my field recorder. We've got a little hot mic as well that we're going to be using throughout to record little observations and funny bits, which will probably...
In the field.
Yeah, it will probably be some sort of funny montage in the second part of this podcast. This is going to be a 2-part podcast, by the way, in case we didn't mention.
Surprise.
Yeah, and so it's about, 12:30 a.m. last night, and I'm going to turn everything off, the field recorder's working, everything's all sorted, and the last tab I have to close is my torrent client.
Oh, it's done it?
And I see that the man has come back and has finished seeding Howie Mandel's
I take it all back.
monsters.
Thank you. Thank you, Guy. Is that what we're going to use?
And so we do actually have a 700 meg little monsters, and all of the skills I learned and the multiple hours I put into obtaining this thing was completely unnecessary.
Did you check, 1, does it have subtitles? And 2, is it wiggly?
I didn't check because I was too upset.
Fair enough. Absolutely reasonable.
If the version we've got on the computer right now, my 12 gig special bespoke edition, does not work, we have a backup we can fall back to.
Right.
So we're all sorted. We're ready to go.
Hashtag release the K cut.
I think we can really tell you now. We need more. We need Howie. We need Howie to stop the evil.
That's for sure.